Every rider has a style, but here's a twist. That style isn't just about comfort or control. It's a full-blown psychological profile on wheels. The way you corner, wave, or don't, brake, shift, even sit, says more about your personality than your Instagram bio ever could. Some of us ride like caffeinated squirrels dodging traffic cones. Others float through life on a 600-pound couch wearing 3 layers of leather in denial. This isn't about good or bad riding. It's about what your habits reveal. The subtle signals, the little quirks, the weird flexes. You might think you're just choosing your line, but you're also telling the world who you are. So whether you're a throttle-happy maniac or the human embodiment of a yield sign, get ready. Because today, we're psychoanalyzing your throttle hand and roasting your ego in the process. Let's dig into the 13 types. And yes, you're probably on the list. Number 1, the late breaker. You treat stop signs like suggestions and corners like they're attacking your dignity. Always pushing the limit, always waiting until the last nanosecond to grab the brakes. Are you in a race? Nope. But in your mind, every ride is a time trial and every curve is watching. You think this style makes you fast. It doesn't. It just makes everyone around you nervous. Braking late can be effective if you have the skills. But let's be honest, most late breakers are just adrenaline junkies with control issues. This riding style screams impatience. You want to be the last one off the throttle and the first one out of the turn. Not because it's smart, but because it feels like dominance. You chase the edge like it owes you money. Deep down, you probably get bored if you're not pushing something, even if it's your own luck. And when things do go wrong, you're the type to blame the tires, the road, or your brakes. Never your own timing. Riders like you burn through pads and live on the edge of a low side. But the real red flag? You don't ride fast. You just decelerate late. And the difference between the two is exactly where ego starts writing checks your front tire can't cash. Number 2, the stand-up guy. You're not riding. You're perching. Every stoplight, you're up. Every bump, you hover. Pavement, dirt, city traffic, it doesn't matter. You ride like you're trying to scout for a buffalo on the horizon. And sure, if you're on a gnarly off-road trail, standing makes sense. But on Main Street, at a red light, in a Starbucks drive-thru, you're just showing off, man. Standing up constantly doesn't make you look skilled. It makes you look like your seat is allergic to your ass. But let's be real. Half the time, you're not even doing it right. Bent knees, neutral hips? Nope. You're stiff-legged like a giraffe on roller skates. All that balance you think you have? It's an illusion, held together by adrenaline and your obsession with pretending you're on a Dakar rally stage. This riding style screams identity crisis. You want to be seen as rugged, technical, and one with the terrain. But in reality, most riders are just wondering if your suspension's broken or if your ego is too big to sit down. You're probably the same guy who shows up to bike night wearing full ADV gear for a 12-minute city ride. If your butt never touches the seat, maybe it's time to figure out what you're really running from. Number 3, the mirror checker. Your eyes? Glued to the mirrors like your ex is tailing you with a chainsaw. You check behind you more than you check the road ahead. Every 10 seconds, there it is. The subtle head tilt, the glance, the squint. You're not riding. You're being followed in your own mind. Let's be clear. Situational awareness is good. Paranoia? Not so much. Constantly watching your six means you're not planning your line, not spotting hazards, and definitely not enjoying the ride. And you wonder why you miss apexes and get surprised by potholes. You were too busy watching that Prius you passed 5 minutes ago. This riding style screams anxiety. You might be a newer rider still building confidence, or maybe you've had a close call and now trust no one. Or maybe you're just obsessed with dominance, always making sure no one dares pass you, like you're defending a championship nobody else signed up for. Either way, it's not helping you ride better. You can't predict every move behind you, but you can anticipate the road ahead. So maybe give the mirrors a break, look forward, trust your spacing, and remember, if someone's behind you, It's not a threat, just another rider trying to survive you and your head checks every 2 seconds. Number 4, the never waver. You see them, they see you. You wave, nothing. Not a nod, not a finger lift, not even the dead-eyed courtesy of acknowledgement. Just stone-cold silence like you're invisible, or worse, beneath them. This rider doesn't wave, doesn't nod, and sure as hell doesn't return the favor. Why? That's the mystery. Some say it's because they're laser-focused. Others say it's a power move, like waving would somehow admit they're part of the rest of us mere mortals. Truth is, it's usually one of 3 things. They're grumpy, they're insecure, or they think they're better than you. And the odds of them riding a bone stock Harley or a murdered-out ADV bike with no dirt on it? Sky high. Maybe they think waving is a distraction. Maybe they've been burned before by the old left-hand snub. Or maybe, just maybe, they've convinced themselves that waving is for posers, and they, dear rider, are far too elite for such pleasantry. But let's get real. A wave isn't a contract. It's a sign of life, of community, of shared survival on a planet full of distracted drivers. Refusing to wave doesn't make you stoic. It makes you look like you hate joy, and that's a tragic way to ride. Number 5, the constant lane splitter. This rider doesn't just split lanes, he lives in them. Red light, he's 5 cars ahead before you even think about moving. Stop traffic, he's slicing through it like a hot knife through SUV plastic. Doesn't matter if it's legal, smart, or polite. If there's daylight between bumpers, he's gone. To be fair, lane splitting has its time and place, but this guy turns it into a personality trait. He's always weaving, always darting, always one flick of his wrist away from someone else's side mirror in his lap. Doesn't matter if the car has its blinkers on or a toddler's hanging out the window, he's getting through. But the real giveaway, he doesn't just split lanes, he craves validation. He'll tell you about that one time he passed a Ferrari on the shoulder like it's a war story. And his go-to insult for other riders? Too slow. Here's the truth. Being fast in traffic isn't the same as being skilled. It's being willing to gamble. And sometimes that gamble pays off with 5 extra minutes. Other times, it pays off with a hospital gown and road rash scrubs. So sure, keep threading the needle. But don't forget, needles can pop tires too. Number 6, the cruise controller. This rider is smoother than jazz on Sunday morning. He rolls onto the highway, sets his cruise, and enters a meditative state that no pothole, lane change, or tailgating SUV can disturb. He's not fast. He's not slow. He's exactly the speed limit, sometimes +3. That's not caution. That's policy. And you know what? It works. He's the kind of guy whose bike gets 20,000 miles out of a tire and has chicken strips that could feed a family of 4. He'll ride cross-country and never miss a fuel stop or a lunch break. Predictable, precise, zen. But here's a catch. Try riding behind him. Just try. You'll be nodding off by the 3rd overpass. Corners become straight lines. Every road is a parade lap. And don't even ask him to take the scenic route. He's locked into the GPS like it owes him money. This guy isn't dangerous. He's just background noise. He blends in with minivans and delivery trucks. You almost forget he's riding a machine built for adrenaline. Still, there's a weird beauty to it. He doesn't need to prove anything. He's not here to race, flex, or lean off like Marquez. He just rides, consistently, calmly, possibly while listening to smooth jazz. And honestly, that might be the most rebellious thing of all. Number 7, the redline junkie. This guy's throttle has 2 positions, off and full send. Every stoplight is a launch pad, every tunnel is a symphony hall, and every shift sounds like it was ripped straight out of a MotoGP highlight reel. He doesn't ride with the bike, he rides against it, challenging it to keep up with his right wrist. He's always in the power band. First gear, screaming. Second gear, screaming louder. Third gear, doesn't exist. He already blew past that on the way to the rev limiter. He doesn't know what his bike sounds like below 6,000 RPM. Honestly, He probably thinks it's broken if it's quiet. You'll hear him before you see him, and you'll smell him after he's gone. Clutch plates, tire rubber, and just a hint of regret. And while everyone else is pacing themselves through a twisty, he's entering hot, exiting hotter, and probably wearing tires down at 600 miles flat. Is he fast? Sometimes. Is he smooth? Never. But he lives for that adrenaline spike when the tack needle flirts with danger. He's addicted to acceleration, allergic to coasting, and thinks engine braking is for people who wear beige. Deep down, he knows he's not riding smart, but for him, smart is boring, and boring is worse than crashing. Number 8. The zigzagger. This one rides like he's dodging ghosts. Constant little swerves, side to side, like the lane is booby-trapped and he's the only one who can see the mines. He'll drift left, lean right, shift over the center line, bounce back to the shoulder, all within the same stretch of straight road. You ride behind him and start to wonder if there's something wrong with your own suspension. But no, it's just him, dancing through traffic like he's trying to shake off an imaginary tail. His tires are probably squared off at the center, but worn slick on both edges, all from the unnecessary lean angles at 40 miles an hour. It's not just a style, it's a nervous tick. Ask him why he rides like that and he says, "Oh, it helps me stay loose." Translation? He's jittery, overthinking, and probably compensating for not knowing what to do with a bike that wants to stay planted. Corner entry? Wiggly. Highway cruise? Twitchy. Group ride? Everyone keeps their distance. He might say it's just his rhythm, but really it's chaos on two wheels. The zigzagger's bike is capable of clean lines. He just refuses to give it any. Watching him is like watching someone try to sketch a straight line while riding a mechanical bull. Number 9. The turn signal ghost. You know the type. You're following him, trying to read his body language like a poker tell, and bam, he suddenly turns. No signal, no hand wave, not even a glance. Just drops a gear and peels off like you're supposed to be psychic. If this guy were a car, he'd have 4 broken blinkers and a court date. The turn signal ghost doesn't forget to use signals. He refuses to. He sees them as optional, a suggestion, a crutch for the weak. "Real riders don't need that stuff," he'll say. But what he really means is, "I don't want to lift my thumb an inch to keep you from crashing into me." He'll tell you it's about clean bars or minimalist controls. He'll say it breaks his flow. But really, it just breaks group rides and pisses off everyone else around him. Try riding behind this guy for more than 5 minutes and you'll be playing a game of guess the exit the whole time. And when he does crash, and he will, it'll be because someone didn't read his mind fast enough. Turn signals don't make you less cool, they make you less of a liability. But the ghost? He's convinced unpredictability is a personality trait. Number 10. The social butterfly. Gas station? He's making friends. Red light? He's chatting with the guy in the next lane. Group ride? He knows everyone's name, birthday, and probably their dog's favorite treat. The social butterfly doesn't just ride, he mingles. And you better believe he's waving at every single bike that passes, even if it means swerving like a drunk pigeon mid-corner. This guy sees motorcycling as one big rolling block party. Doesn't matter if it's a Harley guy, a Grom kid, or a Vespa commuter. He's throwing him a thumbs up, a peace sign, or the old 2-finger salute. And if you don't wave back, oh, he noticed, and he will bring it up later. His helmet? Probably got a name. His gloves? Match to the vibe of the day. And his group chats? Full of ride invites, meme spam, and endless who's down to ride messages that somehow never get a firm yes. Now here's the thing. This rider isn't wrong. In fact, he might be the glue of your group. He builds bridges, not rivalries. Just don't ride behind him if you're in a hurry. He'll pull over for every rider with a story and make you part of the conversation, whether you like it or not. Number 11. The couch cruiser. You've seen this guy. Heck, you probably heard his spine crack from the sidewalk. He's leaned so far back he could check the stars for navigation. Feet forward, arms stretched, back basically resting on the sissy bar. This man isn't riding a motorcycle, he's lounging on one. All that's missing is a cup holder and a football game on in the background. Every bump in the road? absorbed by his lower vertebrae. Every tight turn, a full body commitment. But does he care? Not even close. Comfort is king, and he's got the throne bolted to his frame. Speed? Who needs it? Agility? Overrated. He's not here to win races. He's here to look chill while slowly melting into the seat foam like a human popsicle. And let's be real, he's got nothing to prove. He doesn't flinch when sport bike guys blow past him in 100. He doesn't care that he takes corners like an 18-wheeler with a flat. He's carved out a riding style based purely on vibes and lumbar preservation. You know what his personality says? I've earned my comfort. Maybe he's old school. Maybe he's sore. Maybe he's just figured out that riding doesn't have to hurt. Either way, respect the recline. He's doing it his way. Slowly, but in style. Number 12. The Imitator. He watches the rider in front like it's a riding tutorial in real time. Same lean angle, same body position, same gear changes, even the same head turns. If the guy ahead sneezed mid-corner, this dude would probably do it too. He's not riding, he's shadowing. Now, copying someone better than you can be smart. At first, it's how a lot of riders learn. Follow the line, feel the pace, pick up the rhythm. But when it becomes your entire riding style, that's not learning. That's cosplay. This rider doesn't trust his own judgment. He brakes because the guy ahead did. He leans because the guy ahead leaned. And if that guy messes up, well, guess who's going along for the ride? The irony is, he could probably ride better if he stopped overthinking and just did his own thing. There's comfort in mimicry. No responsibility, no decisions. It's riding on autopilot. Someone else's autopilot. What does it say about his personality? He's not necessarily timid. He might just be stuck in that in-between phase. Not a beginner, but not confident enough to take the lead. And that's fine, for now. But sooner or later, you gotta ride your own ride. Otherwise, you're just the world's most dedicated follower. Number 13. The Safety Seminar. This rider looks like a walking PowerPoint presentation from your local DMV. High-vis vest? Check. Reflective tape on every limb? Double check. 2 feet down at every stop sign, full head swivel before every lane change, and a backpack with a first aid kit, tire gauge, rain poncho, and probably a laminated copy of the owner's manual. They're the embodiment of every safety course you've ever taken, and then some. You half expect them to pull out a laser pointer mid-ride and give a demonstration on safe corner entry. But here's the thing. While most riders play fast and loose with safety rules, this one clings to them like gospel. And that says something. They're either deeply analytical, slightly paranoid, or just really, really love order. Riding for them isn't about adrenaline or expression. It's about control, predictability, risk management. And while it's easy to poke fun at the excess reflectors or the comically cautious habits, this rider rarely crashes, rarely surprises anyone, and rarely dies doing something stupid. So maybe they're onto something. Still, if you're behind them on a ride, don't expect excitement. You're watching a high-vis tutorial in motion. And God help you if you forget to signal. They will bring it up at the next stop, with laminated evidence. Every riding style tells a story. Whether you're the late breaker, the lane splitter, or the guy waving like he's running for office, your bike isn't the only thing people are watching. Your habits, your confidence, your quirks, they all scream something about who you are. And hey, maybe you saw yourself in one of these. Maybe in 5. That's the beauty of riding. It reflects you, whether you mean it to or not. So if you learned something, laughed a bit, or just got roasted in the best way, hit that like button, drop your riding style in the comments, and let's see how many safety seminars we got out there. Ride smart, ride honest. And if you ever catch yourself zigzagging with your blinker off while standing up and checking your mirror, maybe don't tell anyone.